If they had said, okay, we'll fight this man ourselves, they try to locate his point of living through satellite, if they have the ability, and bomb him there and say he's dead, the picture is shown.
Apparently it was getting out of hand. That is why they sought, foreign
yeah, because
help.
they are incompetent of handling it. I've always said America is a war power, these Russians, they are all war power. But their technique is so modern that they can't hold grounds. They can only devastate, they can destroy. But they can't stay and hold the ground, especially in a foreign atmosphere. They can't live there. Look at what is happening in Africa, is how they are pulling. Look at what happened in Iraq, they pulled. Because they can't adapt to the weather. They cannot adapt to the environment. That is their problem. And they should come to this reality and say, look, yes, we're a war power if we want to defend ourselves, but we cannot fight outside. They don't have the ability to fight outside. And they have refused to acknowledge that. And they proud themselves as a war power. Yes, in terms of armament, but what of holding the ground?
So you mean if they had gotten involved at that time, that they offered assistance to Nigeria, it would have compounded.
Could have been worse.
Issue.
Yes, could have been worse. So Jonathan took a very brilliant move, getting to the neighbors and getting them involved. It took him some time. And that period also made things went worse. And that is why his government today, even if he's not the best man in Nigeria, should be recognized for one thing: a discipline that also went into error because of inactivity. He didn't act at the proper time. He was not in control of the Nigerian army. He didn't know the indolence in the Nigerian army was so deep that they were sleeping, slumbering to death. Inactivity. They only look for where to do money collection, debt collections and all that. So they weren't active. So when the reality faced them, I saw in the STV television when I was also given an interview, big men with potty stomachs and all. I said, these people can fight the war. He can't even crawl. With what stomach will they crawl across the firing point? And it shows off. So we don't have soldiers. And look at the mess they are till today. If not the Cameroonians and Niger Republic, the people could have been advancing downwards. We couldn't have held the election.
Okay,
all right,
so
you
where
said
are we
something
now?
about a fault that the government actually made, a fault. Another fault that people have been talking about is the fact that these girls were actually abducted on the 14th of April, but government didn't do anything until the 21st of April, that 7 days after they were actually kidnapped. Now, do you think that space given to Boko Haram actually also helped them
There may be no space in terms of the federal government, but in the implementation created the space.
Yeah.
You see, when you talk about warfare, even armed robbery, check the bank robbery in Union Bank 2-3 years ago, where they used sophisticated weapons. No police could approach because the sound of the gun is higher than theirs. Secondly, the policemen may be also brought into the picture and say, look, make a deal with you. We are going over there. Don't come over there until the next 1 hour. The operation will last 45 hours, 15 minutes you come, and they are paid off. That is the Nigerian society. The society is so rotten that everything is possible. Look at what would have happened in this country if not that we had somebody like Jonathan, who considered defeat. While his people were ready, even some people called me in Port Harcourt in our office, they said, look, people are prepared here to burn everywhere if this man loses. But he took everybody unawares.
Now, so I want to come in here. You talk about the rot in the Nigerian army. Where did we get it that wrong? And then what is the way forward?
The way, first of all, the Nigerian army, just as the police, the customs, all our law enforcement agencies are not actually in service. They are looking for their pockets. And so when a man is looking for his pocket, no special incentive for that pocket, it is difficult for him to perform. And so the only way forward is to give a new orientation, a new restructuring of the law enforcement agencies. Bring about an incentive package and bring about a high level of discipline, where even a policeman must be a decent graduate. Not a graduate who say, hey, my friend, come here, who you be? Is you discover these hoodlums in the law enforcement agencies, including the army. So how can the hoodlum perform? Patriotism is not there. He has no intention to serve the nation. He went in there out of frustration. He couldn't go to school. Some of them say they are career schooling in the army or in the police. That is not education. The four wall of the secondary school and the university is the main education, because you now experience yourselves, not only reading books, the culture in the university, the culture in the schools, the people you interact with them, you grow up with them. So it's difficult. But however, I'm now bringing a new way for the new government if we will adapt it, which I call volunteerism.
Okay, we'll come and take that. Okay, welcome back. We still have Dr. Sakweza Takuyu here with us, and then also joining us in this discussion, we have Alhaji Ahmed Tijani, who's also a security expert and a political analyst. You're welcome, sir. Thanks for joining us.
I'm very grateful.
You're welcome. Doctor, thanks for still being here.
Thank you.
Yes, Alhaji Tijani, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
In your view, do you think government can still help rescue these Chibok girls?
Well, I'm just joining the program. It's just like treating it from the surface. Chibok girl is no longer a news. It's a year today. They've been adopted or whatever brand of name you call it. But most of us, even the entire nation discussing about these Chibok girls, we are so partial.
Partial?
Yes.
How do you mean, sir?
We are so partial. What makes the life of those Chibok girls so special than those innocent almajiris, innocent citizens they are killing just to give impression that they are fighting Boko Haram? That is number one. Number two, if you look at what is happening in this area, in Ibadan, there is a popular place they call Soka. How many Nigerians they fought dead, killed? Nobody asks the president to pay for the life of that soul. Thirdly, in Abeokuta, go further, Okija. The Inspector General of Police there, Tafa Balogun, went there and he picked nothing less than 200 heads of human beings slaughtered for rituals. Chibok girls, this might be so, it might be so bitter to you, or because I did not allow sentiment to come in. Every life is as equal as others. Are you getting what I'm saying? What we need to address, are we really in charge as a government? And that is where we have to come. What is government? What is our social contract with the government? And how do we fight the government if this breach of social contract with the citizen? Are you getting what I'm saying? If you are talking how the Chibok girls should be released, it could be our turn tomorrow. You are getting what I'm saying? We have a problem. Let us face the problem that we have a problem. And our life is no longer safe.
That's the bottom line.
That is it. How do we negotiate ourselves out of it? Because all of us, the entire citizen, we are in a disadvantaged position. We are in a disadvantaged position. I use most of my life in serving this nation. American per annum, before, they spend about $300 billion. Now, is 2 trillion to gather intelligence information. America hates one thing, not only America, any serious military personnel, they hate one thing: surprise attack. Is the best form of defense. You see what happened to America after the September 11?
9/11.
They caught them by surprise. And they dealt with them. And that error is what is lingering on. As far back as 1968, one journalist in America, he published one article. I have that article at all. He said, end of resources. Once you begin to sell what you don't have to buy what you have, all these kind of things will continue to go unabated. And they are creating another problem for you. So don't call any of us tomorrow and say, come and discuss. Jonathan gave OPC money to assist in this in campaign, whether to rig or whatever it is in the history. The Niger Delta, they know what we are fighting for. They are fighting for their oil.